He never gave me no details about nothing, but I know this is a wealthy man who makes money from the industry in Cali. He said it with too much conviction. He said, get out of California. Don't buy any property out there.
Yeah.
All the people who call me and check on everybody up here.
Yeah.
We don't live in the hills. They started in the hills. So if you live in cities that are hill cities, they stopped all of that generational wealth up in the hills. That's what that is. See, there are people who live up in the hills and they drive down to town to get what they're gonna get. But certain people can't hustle in the hills. Like they ain't got a whole bunch of stuff in the hills where the people who are in charge can get money up out of them people like they want. So every once in a while, a house in the hills have a problem and they gotta find a way to fix it. They not finna do that. They said, tear all that shit up. We finna start it all over. In New Orleans, they used water. In New Orleans, they used the dams or whatever?
Right.
To get them people out their house and start it over. Out here, they used fire, like in Hawaii. It's the same shit. Altadena, is that like the hood part of the mountains?
No, that's just like like the hood is different passing Altadena. You got like sections. So
it's a middle class, am I correct?
Yeah, it's middle class. The highest black-owned property population in the country. I mean, well, in California for sure.
Well, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's like
they burn the niggas out their shit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They're not even insuring homes unless they're brand new right now in California, I don't think. I can't say for sure, but I know somebody who couldn't get no insurance. And then I know somebody who got some insurance, and they said, well, this house is brand new. They're insuring brand new houses. All the rest of this shit, they got plans to build, what do they call them cities they said up there? Smart cities. All the old stucco shit is played out. They gonna find a way to they gonna unass you off your land.
I know people don't like to dive into conspiracy theories, but I think this one may actually have some truth in it. I have a few family members that work in insurance, and as you know, insurance agents only get paid based off of the business that they bring in. So when you purchase a property, you contact the insurance agent. The agent then turns around and tries to contact a lender who will then provide you with the policy for your particular property. Now, one of the things that I remember them complaining about was how difficult it has become to find lenders who are willing to insure homes. And not just homes that are like 20 and 30 years old. They were talking about homes that were between the 5 to 10 year range. And they were saying how it's gotten to a point that, you know, the roof of a house is typically designed to last for anywhere from 25 to 30 years. And lenders were stating that they weren't willing to insure homes that had a roof that was over 10 years old. And so most of the homes that got caught up in the wildfire, those homes are even older than the ones that my family members were complaining about. So the likelihood of these people having fire insurance is probably going to be really low. So there's a high probability for most of the people living up there that this situation is going to be a total loss without receiving any compensation in return for it.
That's a cold situation, man. Most of them older black people, 80, 90, they bought their house for 15 grand in the 60s. Now the motherfuckers is worth 1.5, 1.4.
It ain't worth shit now.
Yeah, it's
it wasn't insured. Most of them wasn't insured.
Let me tell you something. I know 30 people personally that lost everything, all black. This is a black neighborhood. It's got a lot more white people now, but in the 80s, 70s, 60s, right. it was no white folks. It was all black. So, you know, it's like we lost. It's like Harlem burning up.
Homie, I did a show in New Orleans a little bit after all that shit went down, and they was on the TV and radio talking about, if you're not here within 15 days to claim this land, it will be taken and all that stuff. People in New Orleans know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's how they gangster your shit.
Up here, they got the National Guard at a street called Woodbury, if you look up the map. So you can't even go past Woodbury to go to your spot that burned up. Then if you're already up there and you come down, they won't let you back up.
That's cold.
That's some cold shit.
That's cold.
They won't let you back up, man. They already.
So another reason why I think it might be some truth to this theory is that I remember after Hurricane Katrina happened, there was a lot of different reports coming out. I remember hearing some reports that the levees was sabotaged. They didn't just break on their own. I also remember hearing some reports that the National Guard blocked the entryway at certain points in and out of New Orleans. So once you moved away from a certain sector, you couldn't actually get back in there to it. And that's exactly what Craig is describing with this current situation in California. And so with Hurricane Katrina, once they went back down there and rebuilt New Orleans, the population looked vastly different than it did before the storm came through and wiped everything out. And so chances are with this California situation, if these families are not able to receive insurance payouts for all the properties that have been lost, then they won't have any money to rebuild in these neighborhoods, which then means that somebody can come in and buy all this property up and then rebuild these neighborhoods, and then now you got a bunch of new homes for sale, and we're talking about millions and millions of dollars being on the line. So whenever is that much money in play, it wouldn't surprise me that somebody did something underhanded in order to try to keep it.
You know, as we look at this, and I was just talking to Aaron about the investigations underway into the origins of this, the ATF is actually taking the lead in figuring out what caused the Palisades fire. From your experience, do you think it was caused by humans, or what is do you have any a hunch as you're looking at this?
If I were betting, yes. Many people are surprised to learn that over 90% of wildfires are caused by us humans. And I think that's really important to sit and think about for a minute, because one less sparks, one less wildfire, we need to be cognizant of that. This is right near Mandeville Canyon right now. A few years past, we had a well-intentioned individual performing proper brush clearance. They used a weed whacker, hot exhaust, put down a light, flashy fuel like grass, and it took off. They couldn't catch it.
But that's it for this video. As always, make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can get the alert when future content is posted. I'm your man, D Cannon. This is The Dust Up, and I'm out.